Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be why complimenting women does not work for most guys. And what do I mean by that? Does that mean that you should never compliment a woman? No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying, however, is that most men, because they haven't spent the time to learn about women or to learn to understand women or where they're coming from or how they think, they don't understand how to interact with them. And so when they offer a compliment, it doesn't come across as a sincere, authentic compliment from their heart. It comes across more as a bribe or a platitude that they're throwing out there in order to placate her or try to get her to like him. Oh, you're really pretty. Hey, can I buy you a drink? Hey, let me get that door for you. Hey, you want a date with me? Chris Rock, who's got a great comedy routine, he basically puts it like this. He's like, let me get that door for you. Want some dick? And that's basically how a lot of guys come off to women, is that the compliments are not sincere, they're not authentic, it's not an expression of his heart. It's something that he's basically using as a tool, like buying a drink or taking a woman to dinner. Like, if I do these things for you or say these things to you, will you give me sex? And that's basically how it comes across, and it always has an undesired effect. And that's why I say compliments don't work on women. But the interesting thing is that masculine energy grows through challenge, but feminine energy grows through praise. So it's actually the praise that will cause a woman to open up and become more receptive to you. And the problem with guys that have this issue, like that I used to have, where I just didn't know what to say around women. I felt awkward. I felt uncomfortable. I didn't know how to have conversations with them. It was just because the relationship I had with my mother was so awkward. I mean, my mother was the type of person that wasn't affectionate, didn't put her hands on us, didn't say I love you, didn't hug us, didn't kiss us. I mean, she may have done those things when we were real little babies, but as far as I remember when I was a kid, it's just I didn't have those things, and she wasn't affectionate not only towards my brother and I, but she wasn't affectionate towards my dad. My dad wasn't affectionate towards her, and I don't remember them ever holding hands. I remember occasionally during Thanksgiving or Christmas seeing my dad give my mom a kiss in the cheek, and that was about it. That was the only affection I ever saw the two of them show towards one another. And so basically the environment that I grew up in is that you're not getting the, oh, great job, I'm proud of you. You're never getting those things. You're not getting the I love yous, I'm proud of you, oh, I love you so much, you're so wonderful, you're this, you're that. The only thing that my brother and I would hear is that all the things that we were doing wrong. Oh, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't be this way, you shouldn't feel that way. And so like when we have needs and wants and desires, and I, as a little boy, I'd start to want something, like, there was always usually some adult going, you shouldn't feel that way. And so what happens is we grow up and we feel ashamed of us, we feel ashamed of our desires. And from a life coaching perspective, as a little kid, when we want something, maybe we may find another little girl attractive, and whether it's an adult or a friend or a parent or somebody that comes in and has something real negative to say, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't think that way, that's inappropriate, then we feel ashamed of our feelings and our desires, and there's a big emotional anchor with that, because we're feeling something, we're feeling something positive for someone or about an event or whatever, and then all of a sudden an adult comes in and replaces that good feeling with a feeling of shame. So anytime what happens is that feeling of attraction for another girl, say, now when I have that feeling, as I grow older, I have a feeling of attraction, and I feel ashamed. And so that feeling of shame is like, I want to hold this stuff in, and I don't want to reveal myself. And as there's the majority of the guys out there in some form or another suffer from this. And so when it comes to talking to a woman, we don't feel comfortable. We feel shy. We keep it to ourselves. Why? Because we were beat down so much emotionally when we were children by the people around us, whether it was our parents or our peer group or our family members. And it just wasn't my parents. It was like the whole family was like that. They were a bunch of cold fish. And like I said, kids that grow up in those kinds of environments, or the environment where maybe it's a broken household, or there's alcoholism, or the parents are violent, or they're just so busy that they don't have time to even pay attention to the kids. The kids grow up and they become adults and they don't know how to have interaction. And so my problem was that I just didn't know how to interact with women. I was very shy and I didn't know what to say. And so when a guy that comes from that kind of a background says, wow, you're really pretty, and he says it, but he says it in a way, and he says it at an inappropriate time or inappropriate moments in the conversation. And so instead of it coming across as natural and just the natural flow of the conversation, it's coming from a guy that's like, I don't know what to say. You're really pretty. Can I buy you a drink? It just doesn't come off right. And the guy's like, well, I compliment women and it doesn't work. But you could walk up to a woman that is looking at you, and it's just giving you the eye, and you can tell, it's just like when she sees you and she looks at you, her face lights up. And your face is doing the same thing, and you can walk right over her and look her in the eye and just go, my God, you are amazing. You are so beautiful. I want you. And to say something like that and have it be sincere and come from the heart. I mean, that saying those 3 little sentences, like I just said, is something that's absolutely fucking terrifying for a guy who grew up in a kind of environment like I grew up in. And so they have to work up to it. And that's why I tell guys to do is like, until you can show up and be comfortable in your own skin and be authentic, work up to it and use the techniques I talk about in my book, and forget about the compliments, because the guy doesn't know when to give them and he doesn't know how to deliver them in a way that's authentic and from his heart. And so it's best not to say anything. It's better to leave it alone until you grow to the point where you can easily go up and say those things to women. So if you find these messages of value, there will be a toolbar, if you're watching this video on my website, there's a PayPal donate button. You just go down there and click that and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value you received in this video. Is that $1, $2, $5, $10, $50, whatever you feel it's worth. Anytime you feel that my videos or my articles or my ebook or anything you may have gained off my website has added some kind of value to you. At the very least, you can go also on the Wibia toolbar. There's a Facebook share button, LinkedIn, Twitter, and you can share this article with all of your friends or family. And if you've got a question that you would like me to potentially consider answering for a future video newsletter, you can either put it in the Facebook comments down below, or you can hit the Contact Me tab, which is on the left-hand side of the screen there, and send me an email. And I'll talk to you soon.